Political parties fielding 6 or more candidates in this election are eligible for party political broadcasts. For General Election 2025, a total of 8 parties are eligible. Airtime is in proportion to the number of candidates fielded by the parties. Should the candidate exceed his or her allotted time, the speech will be faded to black. This is the first of 2 programs. The speakers representing their parties are Mr. Lawrence Wong from the People's Action Party, Mr. Pritam Singh from the Workers' Party, Mr. Ravi Philemon from Red Dot United, Dr. Tan Cheng Bok from the Progress Singapore Party, Mr. Lim Tien from the People's Alliance for Reform, Mr. Tan Wei Ru Alfred from the Singapore Democratic Party, Mr. Veer Nathan Shen Lee from the People's Power Party, and Mr. Fong Chin Leong from the National Solidarity Party. The party fielding the smallest number of candidates will appear first. The party fielding the largest number, last. Speaking for the National Solidarity Party is Mr. Fong Chin Leong.
My fellow Singaporeans, today I ask you to imagine. Imagine a Singapore where your children are valued not just for their grades, but for their character. Imagine a Singapore where our seniors retire with dignity, not anxiety. Imagine a Singapore where your voice isn't just heard, but will shape our Singapore future. This is the Singapore the National Solidarity is fighting for. Not the Singapore of the past, but the Singapore that you deserve. Because of the continuous support of the residents, we are back contesting in Sembawang and Tampines GRC. For too long, we have been told this is as good as it gets. But look around you, families working harder than ever, yet struggling with rising costs, and many are working 2 jobs. Young people burdened by an education system that sorts them at an early age. Seniors worrying if their CPF will last. This is not the Singapore we dream of. Enough to policies that prioritize profits over the people. Enough to wait and see while other countries surge ahead. Today we declare, your future, our priority. And here, how we fight for it. We will build an economy that works for you, not just for the privileged few. A real minimum living wage, CPFs, reform so no senior outlives their saving. SME first policies to grow your neighborhood businesses. We will give our youth the stage they deserve. Abolish streaming that label children's failure at 12. Youth Assembly SG, where their ideas become law. Free preschool so every child starts life equal. We will protect what matters most. Your home, your health. BTO flats priced at cost. $10 GP visits for all under care near. Mental health hubs in every HDB town. Some will say our vision is too bold, too unrealistic. But I say what's truly unrealistic is expecting different results from the same old policies. The NSP doesn't offer empty slogans. We offer real solutions. Transparent government with live parliamentary debates. Climate action that goes beyond a photo op, tree planting. A political system where every vote counts equally. My friends, Singapore's story isn't written yet. The next chapter belongs to you. Will we settle for good enough, or will we demand better? The NSP chose better. Better schools, better jobs, better lives. Not just for the wealthy, but for every Singaporean. This is our pledge. We will fight for you, fight for your future, as fiercely as we fight for our own children. Because your struggles are our struggles. Your dreams are Singapore's dreams. Together, let's build a nation where no one is left behind, where your future, our priority, isn't just a slogan, it's our promise. Join us. The future starts today. Vote for NSP.
Representing the People's Power Party is Mr. Veer Nathan Sheng Lee.
Greetings, fellow Singaporeans. My name is Veer Nathan Shen Lee from the People's Power Party. Singapore is at yet another crossroad as it approaches its 60th year of independence. We are still young enough to revel in our past victories, yet old enough now to go through what could be called our first real change of guard. It is upon the backdrop of a seismic shift in global affairs that Singaporeans now make an important decision on who is to be part of the team in Parliament to lead us forward through this new world order. As we make this decision as a nation, we must not be distracted by petty arguments and useless talk, but we must focus on the foundation that will allow us not just to survive, but to thrive as we navigate these uncharted waters. And that foundation is the trust and confidence we have in our leadership. It is the knowledge that our government will lead us from the front with integrity, transparency, and accountability, not by pushing policies and making decisions from an ivory tower while unaware of the situation of the citizens on the ground. If this foundation of trust is lost, we will start to fall apart as a nation, and that would be more catastrophic than any sort of economic or external threat. But if this bond as a nation is built and maintained, we will be able to weather the storms that brew in the distance and come through stronger and more united than ever before. To achieve this, we as a nation must make sure to elect the leaders that we know will bring the torch of truth into every level and department of government, to illuminate transparency, accountability, and competency, without which no amount of trust can be built. Trust cannot be derived from the system of own self checks own self, but through a rigorous process of proper independent checks and balances. We must choose leaders who are willing to face the tough issues head on, who will fight for the interests of the people above any selfish or short-term gain. Leaders who will lead by example while asking the right questions and keeping their ear to the ground. Leaders that recognize that they cannot rely on the means and methods of the past in order to forge the future, and are ready and able to bring fresh and radical solutions to the table. Leaders who will make sure that the power remains in the hands of the people. Singapore, the choice is in your hands. As you make your decision on the 3rd of May, I urge you not just to vote for anyone, but to vote for your home. Vote for your children. Vote for your future. Vote for Singapore. Vote for the People's Power Party.
Here is Mr. Tan Wei Ru Alfred from the Singapore Democratic Party.
Dear voters of Bukit Panjang, Marsiling UT, Sembawang GRC, and Sembawang West, are you feeling the stress of rising prices? You watch your hard-earned savings disappear and your dreams for a secure future slip further out of reach as the cost of living skyrockets. Singaporeans are also struggling with job insecurity and relentless workplace pressure, fearful of getting replaced. And all this is happening while the PAP remains indifferent to our hardships, raising the GST and prices for water, bus and MRT fares, housing, in the midst of financial and emotional difficulties. But it doesn't have to be this way. You deserve MPs, SDP MPs, who will fight for you, who will go to Parliament with only one thing in mind: how to make your lives better. The SDP MPs will hold the government accountable, push to lower costs so that you and your family can thrive and not just survive. We will empower every Singaporean to build a better future. And here's how we are going to do it. The first is to lower the cost of living, and the second, to protect jobs and empower Singaporeans. Let me start with the first proposal: how we are going to lower the cost of living. We are going to do this in three ways. One, reduce the GST back to 7% or even 5% and scrape it for everyday essentials. This means that more money stays in your pocket so that you live more and stress less. Two, make homes affordable for all with our highly praised non-open market scheme for BTO flats that cuts out land costs so that you can own a home without sinking into the debt trap. And three, lower your medical expenses so that you can focus on living a healthy life without the constant worry of hospital bills. The other proposal on how we are going to have Singaporeans thrive is, as I mentioned, to protect jobs and empower Singaporeans. We'll go about this by one, prioritizing Singaporeans and reducing the influx of foreign PMETs so as to ensure job security and wider opportunities. Two, introducing a minimum wage act where every Singaporean will earn a wage that reflects the true cost of living. And three, providing support to reduce mental health problems due to the overpopulation and the high cost of living. The aim is to improve your quality of life. Whilst PAP policies have repeatedly raised the cost of living and increased job insecurity, the SDP offers a clear and better alternative. Our vision isn't just about managing day-to-day struggles. As I've said, we want Singaporeans to thrive, not just survive. We want a more compassionate Singapore where the government takes care of you, not exploits you. The SDP will see to that. We want a bold society which flourishes with creative ideas and innovation, a society that lifts everyone up, and one that truly feels like home. This isn't merely an election campaign. It's a movement for change, for a better tomorrow. But don't just hope for change. Act for change. Vote the SDP. My warmest regards to you and your loved ones.
Speaking for the People's Alliance for Reform is Mr. Lim Tien.
My fellow Singaporeans, after 66 years of continuous PAP rule, you face the greatest cost of living crisis in living memory, increasingly unaffordable public housing, increasing job insecurity, and the frustration with the ever-increasing number of foreigners. The government has no solutions to the problems they created, except to give out vouchers and subsidies to tide you by. But Singaporeans do not want to be treated as beggars. They are not looking for handouts. They are looking for meaningful work which gives them dignity and a purpose in life. Neither will Singaporeans tolerate under the guise of Lawrence Wong's redefining success, a future for themselves and their children which is lesser than what their parents enjoyed. It is human nature for each generation to always strive for a brighter future than what the previous generation had. But this is all the PAP wants you to accept under Lawrence Wong's Forward Singapore. My fellow Singaporeans, we are better than this. Unlike the PAP, PAR actually has solutions to lower the cost of living and provide affordable public housing again. If elected, PAR will push for free education, free school meals, and free healthcare for every Singaporean child. This will greatly help lower the cost of living for parents and encourage them to have more children to reverse our disastrous total fertility rate of 0.97. This is an existential issue for our country, and if not reversed, we face eventual extinction as a people. We will never think of continuous net migration as a solution. If we continue to go down this path, there will be grave consequences for our societal cohesion in future. Such a path will lead to the atrophy of our national identity and social fracture. But that is the pseudo solution which the PAP wants us to adopt, because again, they have no solution to the problem, which is largely the product of policies which have driven the cost of living through the roof. Our country has the money to provide for free education, free meals, and free healthcare without the need to tax our people further or dip into our reserves. We will also fight for GST to be exempt from essential items, such as food and groceries, utilities, education, healthcare, and medical services. We will also fight for free public transport for those aged 65 and above. In the realm of public housing, we will fight to stop permanent residents from buying resale HDB apartments. Much of the astronomical surge in HDB resale prices has been caused by the PAP allowing permanent residents to buy public housing. Because the BTO prices are linked to the resale prices, the hike in resale prices have pulled the BTO prices along. It is no answer to say that the BTOs are affordable, when for many, they are only within reach with substantial subsidies from the government. Public housing cannot be affordable when young couples now take up to 30 years to pay off the mortgage when their parents only took 20 years to do so. We will also fight to gradually reduce the land cost component in BTOs so that they become really affordable for Singaporeans once again. PAR is the only party which has always insisted on priority for jobs for Singaporeans. It is disgraceful that in the last 3 years, 91.3% of jobs growth has gone to foreigners. It is also disgraceful that our young men bear arms at 18 years old to defend the nation, but new citizens 30 years of age and above are exempt from national service. This is discrimination against locally born Singaporeans, which has enormous consequence for them in the job market. In closing, I can do no better than to ask you these questions which Ronald Reagan asked the American people 45 years ago. Are you better off today than you were 5 years ago? Is it easier for you to buy things from the shops than it was 5 years ago? Are you prouder of your nation than you were 5 years ago? Are you prouder of your government than you were 5 years ago? We believe large numbers of you will answer these questions in the negative. If you are one of them, we ask that you take back what belongs to you on the 3rd of May and reject the PAP, which as a government has taken too much from you and given too little in return. Thank you.
Representing the Progress Singapore Party is Dr. Tan Cheng Bock.
Good evening. This election, the slogan of the Progress Singapore Party is Progress for All. We believe that Singapore's social and economic progress must be inclusive. Everyone in Singapore must benefit from our country's progress. Progress should not only benefit an elite class at the top. No one should be left behind. These are the key beliefs that shape the PSP's manifesto for this election. We have made more than 60 policy proposals which address some of your biggest concerns. We know you are worried about the cost of living, healthcare costs, jobs and wages, and housing. If we are elected, we will actively bring up your concerns in Parliament. Our non-constituency MPs have been doing this over the past 5 years. We have only fielded 13 candidates in this election. It is impossible for PSP to form the government. But if we are elected to Parliament, we will speak up fearlessly. We will push the government to adopt some of our policy proposals because we believe our proposals will make your life better. PSP's 13 candidates are well qualified, competent, and have the heart to serve. Opposition candidates and volunteers do not get any rewards or perks. We do not get priority school admission or priority BTO schemes. Our candidates could have chosen the easier path of staying out of politics altogether. But these men and women are brave. They have put themselves forward to serve Singaporeans and be a voice in Parliament. They are loyal Singaporeans who love Singapore and want the best for our country. My fellow Singaporeans, we are at a turning point. The world around us is changing rapidly. The job market is also changing fast, with the rise of artificial intelligence and the gig economy. The post-war economic order based on free trade, backed by the US, is rapidly unraveling. Free trade is the lifeblood of Singapore's economy. We will be severely challenged as countries around the world turn protectionist. Unlike before, many of the PAP's new candidates are now from the civil service or the military. A lot of them will be parachuted into Parliament alongside ministers in safe GRCs. Do you want a Parliament made up of a small group of elites that engages in groupthink? Will that be enough to help us chart our way through the challenges that we are about to face? What we need is a more balanced Parliament that represents the diverse views of Singaporeans. We need more loyal opposition that proposes constructive alternative policies. We need more loyal opposition that speaks up for you. We need more loyal opposition that helps the government find the best way forward for Singapore. PSP's NCMPs have played that role in the 14th Parliament. The PSP is ready to play that role as elected MPs in the 15th Parliament. On the 3rd of May, vote for Progress for All. Vote for the Progress Singapore Party.
Speaking for Red Dot United is Mr. Ravi Philemon.
Dear voters in GE2025, my name is Ravi Philemon. I'm the Secretary General of Red Dot United. We are not here to make empty promises. We are here because something feels broken in the country we call home, and we believe we can fix it together. Let me start with a simple question. Has life really gotten better in the last 5 years? For many of us, the answer is no. Wages have stayed flat, costs have gone up, and the future feels more uncertain than ever. We used to dream of the 5 Cs. The 5 Cs are cash, car, credit card, condo, and the country club. Not just about wealth, but about having a shot at a better life. But today, that dream feels out of reach. In its place, we are offered new 5 Cs: CDC vouchers, cash handouts, CPF top-ups, conservancy rebates, and charge card discounts. So let's be honest, those don't build dignity. They are not a future, they are survival. RDU believes we must do better. We want a new social compact, one that returns dignity to Singaporeans and treats all who call this country home as first-class citizens. So let me break it down. First, collective prosperity. Last year, our economy grew 4.4%. But who's benefiting? If growth only shows up in freehold property values and luxury class while you're tightening your belt to pay your electricity bill, then that's not prosperity, that's inequality. We say revert GST to 7%. That puts more money in your pocket now. We propose a citizens' dividend, a direct, unconditional payout to Singaporeans, not as a handout, but a rightful share of wealth you helped create. Now, every time we make proposals, the ruling party asks, where will the money come from? Let me be clear. It will not come from our reserves. We believe in safeguarding them. It will come from surpluses. In the last 2 budgets alone, that's over $6 billion. It comes from cutting government wastage like the salaries of mayors. It will come from modest tax adjustments, not on ordinary citizens, but on the billionaire class. Let's be honest, with the multi-million-dollar salaries, ministers have aligned themselves not with everyday Singaporeans, but with the billionaire class. RDU stands on the side of those that are left behind. Because at the end of the day, it's about this: how much money we have or don't have in our pockets. Second, it's about housing. We're paying top dollar for HDB flats, but many of these flats will one day be worth zero when the 99-year lease ends. Is that fair? We'll make every HDB estate eligible for redevelopment. We'll introduce rent-to-own schemes and expand public rental housing, especially for young singles and low-income families. Because housing isn't just about buying, it's about belonging. No Singaporean should fear growing old under a roof that's losing value. Third, healthcare. Long waiting times, high out-of-pocket costs, people skipping specialist visits or splitting pills to stretch medication. That's not healthcare, that's hardship. We'll rebalance the 3 M's, expand MediShield Life, restructure MediFund, actually help the bottom 40%, and we'll cap out-of-pocket costs so no one has to choose between medicine and meals. Healthcare should not be a privilege, it should be a promise. Fourth, fairness. If you have worked hard, served the country, paid your dues, you shouldn't be treated like second-class citizens just because you weren't born into privilege. We'll prioritize citizens in housing, in jobs and opportunities, because fairness means recognizing contributions, not connections. Fifth, transparency and trust. We can't build a fairer Singapore without trust. That means listening, that means being honest, that means being willing to say, we got this wrong, let's fix it. We believe more raw data information must be made public to whether it's housing, healthcare, jobs. Singaporeans should be a part of solving the problems we face together. In a knowledge-based economy, we must relook laws that stifle critical thinking and honest discussion. We cannot be afraid of tough questions. We don't just need obedient citizens, we need engaged ones, problem solvers, builders, thinkers. So let me end with this. Do you want a country where dignity is reduced to vouchers, where fairness is a slogan, not something we live? We only a few feel like first-class citizens, or do we want something better? We believe in a Singapore where no one is left behind, where dignity isn't reserved for the rich, where every Singaporean is seen and heard. This isn't RDU's fight, so let's vote for RDU. Thank you.
Here is Mr. Pritam Singh from the Workers' Party.
Good evening, fellow Singaporeans. Each time we say the pledge, we commit that we will build a democratic society. The word build must have been carefully chosen by Mr. S. Rajaratnam when he wrote the pledge. It means that a democratic society requires hard work to establish and to maintain. The Workers' Party takes this promise to work hard seriously. Let me highlight 3 ways in which the Workers' Party works for Singapore and Singaporeans. First, we run town councils and we run them as well as the PAP does. In the latest Town Council Management Report released by the Ministry of National Development in 2024, both the Aljunied Hougang Town Council and the Sengkang Town Council received the green rating on all indicators, which is the highest rating possible. If voters put their trust in us, the Workers' Party will leverage our Town Council experience to serve our current and new constituencies well. We have managed Hougang for 34 years and Aljunied GRC for 14 years. We brought the expertise from those constituencies to Sengkang GRC and have added another 5 years of experience. Our town council staff are hardworking, dedicated, and experienced in serving residents. We have conducted Meet the People session for decades, and our countless volunteers help the MPs to understand and address residents' concerns. The Workers' Party takes this opportunity to thank the residents of Hougang, Aljunied, and Sengkang for giving us the chance to work with them all these years. The second way in which we work for Singapore is in Parliament. The Workers' Party speaks on critical topics, asking probing parliamentary questions, and proposes important motions. We rely on facts and figures that are researched by our MPs and our Workers' Party research team. We ask tough questions. More importantly than being tough, our questions are appropriate and necessary because they reflect the concerns of ordinary Singaporeans. You know that PAP MPs do not question the government on all matters you would like them to. Workers' Party MPs can ask any question, especially the difficult questions which are necessary in the public interest. When we vote in Parliament, we do not need to toe the PAP's line. We oppose measures that we believe are not in the national interest. But when it is right to do so, we support government bills and even constitutional amendments. Let me recount one example of how the Workers' Party works in Parliament. In March 2023, the government proposed an amendment to the Constitution. The Workers' Party assessed the amendment to be in Singapore's interest, and we made sure that we were present in Parliament to debate and vote on it. Constitutional amendments require a two-thirds majority. On that day, however, several PAP MPs were absent from Parliament House. If not for the Workers' Party MPs, the PAP government would not have had enough votes to get the constitutional amendment passed that day. But we were there. We voted for the amendment and it passed. The Workers' Party is there in Parliament working for you when it counts. The third way that the Workers' Party works for Singapore is by building for the future. Besides Workers' Party constituencies, we visit homes and public areas in other constituencies to engage with residents and listen to their concerns. We have done this consistently for years and not only at election time. It is important for Singapore's democracy for the Workers' Party to win more constituencies. One or even two WPGRCs can be easily lost. Nothing can be taken for granted. With more Workers' Party constituencies comes a higher chance that Parliament will continue to have a fully elected democratic opposition presence for the longer term. This will make our system stable and sustainable for the future. The Workers' Party will not form the next government. The PAP will certainly do so. But the Workers' Party needs your support to strengthen our presence in Parliament. Vote for the Workers' Party to work for you to build a democratic society. We will continue working for Singapore, no matter what the storm ahead, to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.
Representing the People's Action Party is Mr. Lawrence Wong.
My fellow Singaporeans, in a few days, you will be making a crucial decision. You will cast your vote, not just for a party or a candidate, but for the kind of future you want for yourself, your children, and for Singapore. This election comes at a time of profound global change. A storm is coming upon us. The latest US tariff moves, as well as the uncertainty created, are already weighing on the global economy. For now, the US has suspended its reciprocal tariffs, but it has kept in place a 10% tariff across the board, including on Singapore exports, and sky-high tariffs remain between America and China. More tariffs may follow, including on industries like pharmaceutical and semiconductors, industries that are important to our economy. Global demand is weakening. Market confidence has fallen. Our exports will be hit. Companies large and small have told us how concerned they are. Workers are anxious about their incomes and jobs. We expect economic growth to slow this year. A recession cannot be ruled out. If that happens, there will be retrenchments and job losses. Our bigger fear is this. This is not just a short-term downturn. The world is shifting beneath our feet. Tensions are rising between the major powers. The rules of international trade and cooperation are breaking down. In short, the external conditions that have underpinned our survival, security, and success for decades are now coming apart. Just like 60 years ago, when we separated from Malaysia, and again in 1968, when the British forces withdrew from Singapore, leaving us to fend for ourselves. Who forms your government now is an existential question. It's not just about politics. It's about whether we can find a way forward to survive in a changed world. This has been the PAP's mission from the very beginning, to protect our sovereignty, uplift the lives of Singaporeans, and secure a better future for all. For over 60 years, we have walked alongside you. Our commitment has been unwavering to serve you, support you, stand with you. You will always be at the center of all we do. In recent years, we have done more to help you cope with rising cost pressures. These concerns have been exacerbated by the surge in global inflation following the conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. That's why this year's budget included a comprehensive support package. The help will be systematically rolled out in the coming months, including CDC vouchers, SG60 vouchers, cash payouts, and utilities rebates. A typical family of 4 with 2 young children will receive around $5,000 in assistance this financial year, with lower income groups receiving more help. In response to the current economic and trade uncertainties, I have asked DPM Gan Kim Yong to chair an economic resilience task force. We are monitoring the situation closely. If conditions worsen, we will do more for businesses, workers, and families. This is our assurance to you. We will continue supporting you for as long as help is needed. We will always have your back. Even as we help Singaporeans cope with the immediate economic concerns, the PAP government will always look ahead to plan for and prepare Singaporeans for the future. For our children and youths, we will continue to provide them with quality education and equip them with the skills of tomorrow, while reducing excessive pressure and stress. Our education system has already evolved. Fewer examinations, no more streaming, and more diverse pathways to help everyone discover their strengths and reach their full potential. For all working adults, we will ensure good jobs and meaningful careers. As you grow in your chosen field or seek to transition to a new one, we will help you to upskill and pursue your aspirations with confidence. When setbacks come, as they inevitably will, we will be there with stronger safety nets to catch you, lift you up, and help you bounce back stronger. We will make Singapore an even better place to raise a family. We will provide strong support for children and larger families and keep public housing affordable and accessible. We have ramped up the supply of HDB flats. By the end of this year, we will have delivered more than the 100,000 BTO flats we promised. We are pursuing initiatives for a healthier Singapore. We are focusing on preventive care so that Singaporeans, especially our seniors, can stay active and healthy. We will ensure quality healthcare remains within reach of everyone. Every town will have robust community care initiatives and senior-friendly infrastructure so our elderly can age with peace, dignity, and grace. We want a Singapore where opportunities abound and no one is left behind. A Singapore where every worker is respected, every effort recognized, and every citizen empowered to pursue their dreams and become the best versions of themselves. These reflect the aspirations that you have shared with us, including through many Forward Singapore engagements. We are working hard to translate these shared hopes into reality. You can count on the PAP to keep our word. We don't just make promises. We plan, we act, and we deliver. To keep doing that, we must renew our team, bring in capable individuals with integrity and the heart to serve. From amongst them, we will nurture a new generation of leaders. Our team will combine experience with new perspectives and ideas. It is a fresh team to take Singapore forward. I know there are Singaporeans who want the PAP to continue governing, but also hope to have alternative voices in Parliament. I understand these sentiments. In successive elections, the number of opposition MPs has grown steadily. In the last election, the number almost doubled. The opposition is here to stay. I too believe there is a role for a constructive and responsible opposition in our system of democracy. But I would like to make a personal appeal to you, not just as the Secretary General of the PAP, but also as your Prime Minister. After the dust from the campaign settles, the contest will not be the PAP versus the opposition. It will be Singapore versus the world, a turbulent world with a multitude of external challenges and threats. The outcome of the election will determine how effective your government will be in serving you, and how ready we are to forge a new path forward together in these uncertain times. I've had the privilege of serving as your Prime Minister for the past year. It's a duty I carry with deep commitment to do my best for you, your families, and our nation. If the PAP again wins your mandate, my foremost responsibility will be to work with my team to unite Singaporeans, protect our livelihoods, and secure our future. I will not gamble with your lives, your jobs, or your well-being. Every member of my team knows the weight of this responsibility. This is our promise and our commitment to you. This is our collective new resolve. So I ask you to equip yourself with the best team for this changed world. Vote for the team you believe will serve you, your family, your constituency, and our nation well. Vote for the candidates who will put Singapore and Singaporeans ahead of everything else. Above all, choose leaders who are upright, honest, and of good character. Because in the end, more than policies, more than promises, it is character that counts. On the PAP's part, we will continue to focus on issues that matter most to you, like housing, healthcare, education, and jobs, and your future. We will continue to work hand in hand with you, listening and consulting widely as we develop policies. We may not be able to take in all suggestions, and when we can't, we will explain why. Every policy today is informed by the views and concerns of a wide range of Singaporeans. And we will go further to involve more of you in shaping our way forward. My fellow Singaporeans, the PAP has stood with you through every chapter of our nation's story. Together with the Pioneer, Merdeka, and Majula generations, we built a stable, united Singapore and created better lives for all. As we enter another period of turbulence and uncertainty, You can once again count on the PAP to steer Singapore safely through. We did so during the global financial crisis of 2008. We did it again during the COVID-19 pandemic in this last term. And with your support, we will do so again, whatever the uncertainties ahead. In this election, I ask you to give me and my team the chance to do our best for you. In this changed world, our PAP team, with new resolve, will give our all to secure a brighter future for you.